It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. A lot of people are looking forward to the coming of Christ and the end of this world, and especially the elect, because of the squeeze that they're in, because of the situations that they're finding themselves in. They're looking forward to the end of this world and the coming of their Savior, Yahushua. Well, he was asked about what would be the signs of his coming, what to look for. And Yahushua gave some things to look for that would tell you when his time to come would be near. And one of those things I want to talk with you guys about today. It's in Matthew chapter 24 if you guys want to follow along. One of those signs of his coming would be wars, rumors of wars, pestilence in diverse places, earthquakes, he says, natural disasters, all kinds of things are taking place. But after those things, which are the beginning of sorrows, something else takes place, and I want to focus on that. Matthew chapter 4, we'll start at verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows, the things I've just described to you. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, pestilence. You see? Those are all the beginning of the sorrows, he says. Beginning of sorrows. Verse 9. And then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. You hear that? Then means so after. So after the beginning of sorrows, all of those things, the wars, the rumors of wars, and all these things, he says, then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Now, the elect, it says, you will be delivered up to be afflicted, and they shall kill you. Now, we are spiritual, so you can't die spiritually. So I want you to understand what Yahushua is telling you when he says, they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. It means remove you, separate you from themselves. That's killing you. Your family will do it. Your friends will do it. They will put your name out as evil. They will cast your name out as evil. They will despitefully use you. They will reject you and turn away from you. That's killing or a death. That is separation. You see? And those who aren't prepared for that will suffer great sorrow due to the losses of the separation between mother and daughter, and father and son, and sisters and brothers, and parents and their children. Just like Yahushua said, remember? I come to bring division. You think I come to bring peace, but no. I come to bring division, to divide mine from theirs. Or, as the scripture says, us from them. You see? So what else does he say here? Remember, this is the beginning of sorrows, he said. Those things, that rumors of wars and all that. But after that, there comes the affliction. When they start to smear campaign you. When they start to persecute you and afflict you. Telling lies on you. Bearing false witness. Stealing, killing, and destroying from your life. You see? Being attacked. It says, you will be hated of all nations for my name's sake. What does that mean? That means that you will be hated because you stand for what Yahushua stood for. Truth, love, righteousness, honesty. You see? And many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. This is what I want you guys to pay attention to. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So, the love of many shall wax cold. You see what I mean about those who keep the principles of Christ? Love. For God is love. So, why are people's love growing cold? It told you. It says, because it even gave you the reason why people's love will grow cold. Because iniquity shall abound. What does abound mean? It means to exist in large numbers or amounts. To be plentiful. To flourish. To thrive. To be thick. Ample. Lavish. Copious. Boundless. Generous. Plenteous. Galore. Inexhaustible. Do you hear those words? So, what is iniquity? Iniquity, let's get that before we continue, so we can have a clear understanding of what's causing the love to grow cold, right? Iniquity, immoral or grossly unfair behavior. You hear that? Unbalanced scales, I always say. Immoral or grossly unfair. Not just regular unfair, grossly unfair. Well, immoral and grossly unfair behavior shall be in copious amounts on the earth. Shall be in large amounts on the earth. You see how that's working? Because immorality and grossly unfair behavior has grown so large on this earth in so much abundance, it causes the love of many to wax cold. It causes many flames to be put out that were burning for love, because so much unfair things have happened to them. Or as scriptures say, hated without a cause. You have been hated so much without a cause. You have been attacked so unfairly and immorally that it causes many's love to give out. Their flame to just give out. But he who endures unto the end shall be saved. I want you to hear it. So now I got a question for any of you elect out there right now. Are you living in the midst of immense, immoral, gross, iniquitous behavior? Is that the world you're living in? Well, for one, that means Yahusha didn't lie to you, for one. And for two, that means that that's the time you're now living in. You're past the beginning of sorrows. You see that? Israel was a picture, I've said this on my last few videos, for the whole world to see how Abba deals with people. So Israel, they rejected the Messiah. Their homeland was destroyed. Their temple was destroyed. There was great distress. They were kicked out of their land. That is a shadow of things to come, as the scriptures say. These things are written for our admonition, so that we could learn. So that means that when Christ revealed himself to this world, which he has done to the four corners, as he said, this gospel shall be preached to the four corners. Is it being preached to the four corners? Has it been preached to the four corners? You see? And that's what this internet is about. It is so that his word can go forth. I've had people talking back and forth with me here on YouTube in the comment section that are from Australia, that are from Germany, that are from all over the place on the world. So that means that the gospel is going forth. You see? And at that time when that happens, iniquity shall abound. Iniquity, unfair, grossly unfair behavior. So let's take two people. One person attacks another person unfairly and immorally. And instead of this person being held accountable for their immoral, unjust behavior, the person who is innocent is attacked. That's grossly unequal or unfair, as we read. You see? But because of that, that person that's been humiliated like that, unjustly, will start to dwindle in their love and give out and wax cold and become cold-hearted, we call it. Y'all see that? That's what we're dealing with right now. Your heart to stay warm. If you were freezing and you had people you love in a house and there was a little fire there, you would do everything you could to keep that fire going so that all the people in the house could receive the warmth from it. If you love them, well, that little fire that's going, that's you. You are what's giving warmth to everybody around you. As long as love is burning in your heart. And it's difficult. We just read that it is. Because many are going to give out. But he who endures shall be saved. So, is it any different than when we read in the latter times, perilous times shall come, men shall become lovers of themselves, and all of this, it's the same time you're living in, the latter times. So then that should tell you about where Christ is, you see, in his relationship to you as the church. Is he far off or is he near and nearer than he ever has been before? You see, to this fulfillment of his return and saving us from the immoral, unjust, unfair behavior that we've had to endure, he's called it. Now, I got a question for you. Does it say righteousness shall abound? Fairness shall abound? Justice shall abound? Peace shall abound? No, it doesn't. It says iniquity shall abound. Can you stop that from being the case? So then why are you out there fighting? Why are you out there trying to convince them that they're wrong for their unjust behavior toward you? Why are you trying to get the ones around you to understand how wrong you've been treated? Why are you trying to get them to see what this person is doing to you, even though it's wrong? Why are you trying to get them to understand it? When it says that it shall abound. So is your job to be focusing on other people seeing the mistreatment that you've had to suffer and standing up for righteousness? That's not what's going to happen. Your job is to endure in being kind. When you're despitefully used, when you are hated against, to bless when you are cursed. It's difficult to do that when you're constantly being cursed, when you're constantly being despitefully used. That's what endurance does. See, because when you're lifting a weight, endurance is what is telling us how many reps you'll do. You understand what I'm saying? That's what proves the endurance of the person. So let's take two people. They're both doing the same bench press with the same weight, 225. They're bench pressing it. Now one guy does 6 reps and that's all he can do. He's strong enough to move the weight, but he doesn't have the endurance to move the weight more than 6 reps. The other guy does 12 reps. So who has more endurance? Do you see it? Well, it's the same thing here. He who endures to the end shall be saved. So he who's repping when Christ returns, or as he says, who is that good and faithful servant wise servant that I shall find doing his reps, still loving, despite the burn, despite the fatigue in the muscle, despite the mind saying, I think I need to quit, despite all of this discomfort, he pushes through, and that's how he gets the results that he's looking for. Well, it's the same thing with you. You have to know that iniquity shall abound, and that will cause you to stop fighting that lost battle. The battle is within you. The battle is, Do not get cold-hearted. Do not become malicious because of this injustice I have just had to suffer today. Because we are. We are. There is enough trouble in each day. It is written. So then, right now, remember how I've been telling you guys. He said, come into the ark and close the door. Remember I told you guys that? What does that mean? Come inside yourself. Stop trying to fight out there. That's not going to change. Iniquity is going to increase until it is destroyed by the coming of our Lord, our husband. You understand that? That's the only thing that's going to stop this attack against you that's seeking to kill you and take your life from you. Many people are deleting themselves, falling into Great Depression, and it is because of the affliction. But if you had read it and you knew it and you knew who you belong to, then you would expect it. And then you would say, this is the proof. I'm not going to be stupid about this. This hardship I'm suffering is the proof that I am who I am. If I don't suffer this affliction, then I'm not fulfilling these words. So I must be hated without a cause, even though that's going to cause me to be very confused at first. When someone is doing something, I'm not doing anything to hurt this person, and they're just intent on killing me. I don't want to hurt you. They're just intent on killing you. That's difficult to understand to you at first. Until you read his word and we live by every word that proceeded out of his mouth. His word is what gives it clarity to your circumstance. To say, wait a minute. Marvel not. Stop sitting up here acting surprised when they're doing this wild shit that they're doing to you. When they're deliberately trying to stick the knife in and they're doing it in a way where other people can't see it. That's why it's abounding. Because it's done with this deceitful, sneaky way of, I'm being harmless. But they're doing things to you that are just, you can see it. You can see the attack. But you endure it. Just as Christ did. Because if he didn't be your example, then it ain't no need in you listening to him. He don't know what he's talking about. You suffering. But you don't think Christ suffered. But yet he telling you what to expect from the people of the world. He's telling you all the negative things that you're going to experience from the world. But he didn't endure it himself. Well, then how the hell does he know it? It's because he endured it first. So that he could tell you. So that when you get confused, like I'm describing to you, when you don't heed to that spirit, when that spirit says, stand still, don't move, and you don't heed to it, when that spirit says, don't go there, and you go anyway, when that spirit says, separate from that, but you don't separate, that's when you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. Literally, in the world of hurt, in the world of loss, in the world of pain, in the world of sorrow. That's it. That world is going to grow in iniquity, so much so that the righteous will be wore out. That's what you've read in that book that you all say you love. So if you're aware of that and you're looking at that, then you must go to the Father and you must ask for the Father to grant you grace to walk through this fiery furnace of affliction, of walking and being hurled stones and they're hitting you and you're walking forward as if nothing is hitting you because I'm dead. I am a living sacrifice. Israel, listen to me. So that you can understand what you're going through. So you can stop being confused, looking for somebody to give you some fucking answers that you can't find in the world. You'll never find it out there. You have to go to the secret place where the Father is and ask him for these things. You must. It is high time to stop playing games with something that you can't play with. You can't. It will cost you your soul to get caught up in trying to defend yourself. To going in here trying to prove to people what someone has done to you is wrong. When we read in that word, stand ye still, vengeance is mine. You'll see the salvation. So then, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for salvation from this nonsense. If we seek it by faith. But what's wrong with most of you Israelites? You don't seek it by faith. Is that what the words say? Or am I making that up? You tell me. Where am I getting everything that I tell you? Where do I get it from? What do I base it on? My thoughts, my reasonings. What is it based on? You think it's just coming from me? Or is it coming from a math book, a social studies book, a teacher, a professor, a psychiatrist? It comes from one source. One simple source. And once you know that that is the source for all of, where you're going to get all the answers for all of the questions you have, then you stop seeking outside of that one source for the answer. You just stop doing it. You literally stop searching outside of that source. Because it is there before you were even born. And here it is telling you exactly what you're enduring. Because when you say, wait a minute, this person is doing something very disrespectful toward me. But all the people that say they love me don't seem to care. They don't seem to even notice it. And then when I say it's happening, then they all tell me, oh man, chill out, man. You just tripping, man. You going too far. Then you're scratching your head some damn more. Then somebody else is attacking you and antagonizing you, but yet everybody acts like they don't see it. So then you lash out, hey man, hey, you're fucking doing something abusive to me. Then they all look at you and go, you're crazy, man. Relax. You're angry. You're out of control, buddy. You're like, what the fuck? This is some strange shit. No, it ain't. Think it not strange. I have to laugh because you know the word is true when it's saying, think it not strange, because that's what the fuck you gonna say, elect. You can't fuck around with me because I am you. I'm yoked with you. So I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. I know the frustration that you feel. So that's why I remind you of what all of us were told. Not just you, me too. Me too. So that when he returned, he find me doing. Doing what, grandson? Giving meat in due season. You read Matthew chapter 24? Ain't that what he say? The good servant does? He give his fellow servants meat in due season? That's what this is right here. What is our meat? As elect, what do we eat? We eat the hidden manna, correct? From above. Well, that's the word. So if I'm giving you the word to remind you when you're feeling bitter, when you start to feel malicious and want to lash back, and you want to throw stones back, and you want to do all this, to remember what Christ told you. Iniquity shall abound. Perilous times shall come. And men are going to become narcissistic, lovers of themselves. Haters of things that are good. You hear that? Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Do you hear it or not? So then why act surprised when you see it happening? Simply go to the manna and eat it. Now remember, I said the children, manna, where is manna ate at? Ain't it ate in the wilderness? So then where that mean you at right now, elect? Aren't you awaiting to be brought into your promised land? Well, didn't I say earlier that the Israelites, they didn't enter in because they sought it not by what? They sought it not by what? Well, let's read it. Book of Romans, chapter 9. Romans chapter 9. We'll start at verse 31. But Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness, has not attained to the law of righteousness. Wherefore? Which means, why not? Because they sought it not by faith. So then, that's why your candle goes out in the wilderness. It goes out because you forgot the promise of the end. The salvation, if you endure it. So then, if I'm going to get the reward, why would I give up? Because I don't believe I'll get the reward. So I sought it not by faith. The substance of the thing hoped for, the evidence is not seen. There is no evidence that says this world is going to change. There is no evidence that says that we will be delivered from out of this nonsense that we're in. But we seek it by faith. Silawam Israel.